Hi, I'm Donna Sachet, and I'm here with Michelle Meow. We are the co-hosts of the live television coverage of the Pride Parade in San Francisco. But don't you think it's time you had your guide to Pride? There's so many events that come up ahead of time. We're going to fill you in right here on KOFY TV so you know where to be, when to be, and what to wear.
We're on location here at the Castro Theater, and a little later on the show, we'll hop around, give you some insights on where to eat, where to stay, maybe even what to wear. But for now, we'll run through some of those major events that you need to be seen. So what's coming up?
Well, I think there's some favorites of mine. I mean, the film festival, the Frameline Film Festival, runs for like the 20th through the 30th. It's a long period of time. They'll have films here at the Castro Theater, as well as the Roxy and some of the Victoria Theaters this time as well. There's some that jump to mind. A friend of mine is in one. It's called What's the Tea? It's a documentary about 4 transsexuals. They follow them through their lives, and Cassandra Cass is in that. Another one I'm looking forward to is Lewd and Lascivious. It's about the pre-1950s, 60s gay San Francisco. And I'm telling you, there were some organizations that were there for us, and that was when you were thrown in jail and lost your job for this. Now we are almost to, marriage equality all over the country. It's a whole different world.
Absolutely, and we'll even touch on marriage equality a little later, so you gotta stick around for that.
Do you have a favorite film you're looking forward to?
I do. I want to see Breaking the Girls, and what's not to like about law students and lots of lesbian sex.
You've done your research, obviously. Okay. All right, after Frameline, of course, that runs the whole time. One that jumps out to me is on Thursday at the Starlight Room at the Sir Francis Drake. We're going to have something called Swallow Your Pride. That makes you think, doesn't it? It's going to be a great party with music and food and drink, and right on that penthouse of the Sir Francis Drake Hotel, you can see the entire city in Union Square. Kind of a fun party.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm looking forward to the big, party always on Saturdays, which one includes your brunch at Hotel Whitcomb, and all of the proceeds go to
Positive Resource Center. It's the 15th year we've done it too.
Wow.
We designed it really to honor the Grand Marshals, because every year we get Grand Marshals locally and internationally, and when do you get to hear from them? So they have that morning to give us some remarks about their pride and coming here in San Francisco.
We also don't want to forget, early in the morning on Saturday, there's the Pink Triangle.
Very early.
Yes. And of course the marches,
right.
Dyke March, Trans March.
Because the parade started as a march. It was more of a kind of a protest thing, and then turned into the parade. So these things may become parades one day too, but each night there's a different march, and different communities are recognized. And it's all going to happen right here in San Francisco. What else am I thinking of? Oh, I know one that I really look forward to, and it's the Gaymen's Chorus has a concert 3 nights in a row, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, of Pride 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, I guess it is. And it's Harvey Milk 2013. It's words from his speeches, it's people that knew him, it's original music, commissioned music, and it's going to be at the North Theater, which used to be an auditorium, a great new facility for live music.
And of course, we will never ever forget the parade. The parade broadcast that happens here on KOFY TV.
That little event for 1 million people. It is the largest outdoor event for our community, and this is when you see LGBTQ, all the letters represented.
MNOP.
Yes.
So there's community grand marshals, celebrity grand marshals this year, obviously. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Can I mention a couple? I mean, the community grand marshals mean more to me because they really are leaders here in our community. And Marlena is going to be recognized. She's our 25th Empress. She had a club, in Hayes Valley, which closed recently, but that was there 23 years. She is such a great part of our community, and she'll be riding in a car. And shortly after her, BB Sweetbriar is another friend of mine. She's a transgender, I guess, drag star, you'd say, and she sings live, and she'll be in a wonderful car, I'm sure, waving. So. Do you have any favorites?
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Betty Sullivan, who's the publisher of Bay Times, I'm really, really happy that she's being recognized for all of her hard work and, keeping us in the media. Also Chili D, Lifetime Achievement Award, Al Baum.
And Al Baum is Lifetime Achievement Award. It's funny, sometimes people slip through the cracks. I mean, he's been doing his work for, longer than I can even remember, with Human Rights Campaign and all different organizations, and he is going to get the Lifetime Achievement Awards, but it's a high time he did. That's great.
Tabitha Coffey, right?
From the accent alone.
From Bravo's hit show, but I absolutely looking forward to seeing
that rundown of the red carpet clothes and everything, so I hope she's not too critical of me.
I hope she smiles. That'd be nice.
Yeah, she probably will. Well, I think it's time that we went out there. I mean, I know I want to go to the Pink Triangle, I want to go up and down the Castro. I mean, where are we going to shop? I got to get my nails done. There's a lot of preparation. This doesn't just happen.
Absolutely. So, stick around. And what's coming up next?
Well, we're going to give you your guide to Pride, but we're also going to give you a preview of all the events. We're going to call it the calendar of Pride, and it's going to give you each day what to do. We'll suggest if there is a price involved or whether it's a charitable event. There's so much coming up, it's hard to put it all in paper, but we're going to have it here for you on KOFY TV.
Welcome back to your guide to pride here on KOFY TV. I'm Michelle Meow. Donna Sachet and I just split up, and I'm in front of City Hall, where in 2004, then Mayor Gavin Newsom allowed for same-sex couples the opportunity to marry. This month, during June, that's Pride Month, the Supreme Court of the United States will make final decisions on 2 marriage equality cases, one challenging the Defense of Marriage Act and the second on Proposition 8 here in California. We were just at the Marriage Equality USA party, in which we did some interviews with some major speakers who had some feelings about marriage equality, and that includes Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, John Lewis and Stuart Gaffney, longtime activists and supporters, and also a couple who wants to marry. Let's take a look. If it does get overturned here in California, Proposition 8, what does that mean to you?
Well, it's not what it means to me, what it means to literally millions of people. Not only those couples whose lives will be profoundly impacted and their ability to live their lives out loud and to be fully expressive as human beings and be afforded equal rights, but substantively to their loved ones, to their friends and families, their mothers and daughters, their sisters, uncles, aunts, grandparents, whose lives will also be affirmed, and in turn our community and our society and the one we're trying to build. So I think it's profoundly significant for those self-evident reasons, but it's also significant because the Supreme Court is forced to adjudicate on a fundamental, from my perspective, constitutional right, and that will create some precedent so we can build on that and ultimately address those issues of those 30 plus states that have constitutional amendments that ban same-sex marriage, and we can right those wrongs.
Well, I say to you only because you're a huge champion, which is the reason why you're being awarded tonight here. A few years ago, you went ahead and said that marriage will exist for the LGBTQ community here in San Francisco. So when Proposition 8, passed here in California, I mean, how disappointed were you?
Well, it was a reaction to, what ultimately happened, not only in San Francisco, but the incredible legal work that was done to get in front of the Supreme Court in California and to hear those magical words when Ron George, the Chief Justice of the California Supreme Court, a Ronald Reagan appointee, writes a majority opinion affirming the right to marriage for everyone equally. So Prop 8 was difficult, and I'll never forget it because what an historic night it was for our country. It was an opportunity to ascend into the White House someone not just would be afforded formal authority, but moral authority, and bring that back to the White House in Barack Obama. And the juxtaposition of that with Prop 8 made for, candidly, one of the most miserable nights of my life. It was depressing. And it was depressing because I couldn't celebrate the ascendancy of Obama, but also the devastation we all felt having lost with Prop 8. So now we have the ability, years later, to fix that because of the stewardship of so many people that are being recognized here tonight and the great work of this remarkable organization of people that are just never going to give up. And no matter how many times they knock folks down, they're just going to step back up and commit themselves to a fundamental position of human rights and human dignity and that self-worth that exists between everybody, regardless of their race, religion, their sexual orientation, regardless of their status in life. There's that human condition.
It's always such a pleasure to speak to someone like Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom. It's leadership like his that changes the hearts and minds of other political figures that make a better tomorrow, don't you think? Our next interview is with John Lewis and Stuart Gaffney. They've been together for over 20 years and have been major champions and activists of marriage equality. Let's take a look. We know that there's 12 states now who currently offer marriage equality. We're hoping that California is number 13. How strongly do you feel about, this being approved, overturned, and happening immediately?
Well, we're very, very hopeful. I think the case to restore marriage equality in California is very, very strong so that all loving, committed couples in this state, no matter who you are and who you love, have that most basic freedom to marry, guaranteed by our Constitution.
Polls are showing across America that Americans actually are growing, or it's growing in numbers, supporting marriage equality. What do you think contributes to that? The consistent message, and you're with Marriage Equality USA, who promotes a specific message. What is that message, and how consistent is it?
Marriage Equality USA really believes in couples telling their own stories and their families and loved ones and supporters in their own words saying what marriage equality means to them. And that's really what's changing the hearts and minds of America today. The first Republican senator to come out for marriage equality, he did so because he supports his gay son. The first president to come out for marriage equality, Barack Obama, did so because he talked to his daughters around the dinner table and he said, I cannot justify this discrimination. I'm coming out for marriage equality.
One last question for you before you go and frolic and have a good time here tonight, because that's what it's mainly about. Speaking of personal stories, what's your personal story and how hard has the struggle been for you just to get your relationship recognized?
Well, we have been working for the freedom to marry for almost 10 years now. We've been together for 26 years, and you know, many same-sex couples have been together for 30, 40, 50, even 60 years. And so we were one of the lucky ones because in 2008, before Proposition 8, we were able to get married, and we had a wonderful celebration with our family and friends in San Francisco City Hall. But it's time for California to end the period of marriage haves and have-nots, so that every single loving, committed couple that wants to get married has that most basic freedom.
John and Stuart, longtime champions of marriage equality, thank you so much for all your work. And they're like the cutest couple ever with their matching bow ties. Our next couple has been together for over 10 years and are looking to get married if the Supreme Court makes their final decision and supports marriage equality. So let's take a look at their interview. Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi, we're great.
Let's introduce yourselves to the audience.
I'm Tom Watson.
And Jeff Tobacco.
All right, Jeff and Tom, how long have you guys been together?
We will celebrate 10 years together in just a few weeks.
10, wow, and you're ready to get married.
We are.
We're domestic partners, but it's time for us to get married.
Are both your families supportive?
They are. My family lived back in Virginia, which is actually where we were when we first met, and they've taken a little more time to come around to it. They've always been really supportive of our relationship. They love Jeff, and they consider him a son and an uncle and a brother. But it's been more recently that they've really come to understand the importance of marriage and to be accepting of that for us.
Yeah, my family really accepts Tom as part of our family, and I think us being out and speaking about marriage equality has really helped them come around.
That wraps up our marriage equality special here on Your Guide to Pride on KOFY TV. Donna Sachet has her pumps, or well, I should say heels, all ready to go as she's hiking to the top of Twin Peaks. So make sure you stick around to find out why. For now, here's your Countdown to Pride calendar of events.
June 20th through 30th, Frameline Film Festival, Castro, Roxy, and Victoria Theaters. June 23rd, Gay Pride Comedy Night, Rebel, 8 p.m. June 24th, City Hall Flag Raising and Grand Marshal Recognition. June 27th, San Francisco Pride Media Party, W Hotel. Swallow Your Pride at the Starlight Room. San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus Concert, Harvey Milk 2013. Pre-Pride with Academy of Friends, Swirl, and Clear Channel at Heartlet 46 Minna. June 28th, Trans March on Market Street. San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus Concert, Harvey Milk 2013.
Hi, we're back to your Guide to Pride on KOFY TV. And listen, we're not in the Castro anymore, you can tell. We're at the top of Twin Peaks. I told you a lot of things happen other than the parade and the festival down in Civic Center. We're at the top of it all at Twin Peaks, looking down on the Castro and the entire city with Patrick Carney, the creator of the Pink Triangle Project. Welcome.
Thank you for coming up here.
Well, you're not cold, I'm freezing up here.
Well, it's part of the circumstance up here on Twin Peaks, but we're expecting a sunny weekend, the weekend of the 29th and 30th.
Oh, that'll get some volunteers out here. Well, listen, Patrick, don't have a lot of time, but I want to find out, how did you ever think of this project? You construct a fabric pink triangle on the top of Twin Peaks that can be seen all over the city. How did you come up with that idea?
Well, the initial idea was to add a little color to the parade. So we were looking out of the window at Letitia's one afternoon and we thought, there's a huge big blank canvas up there called Twin Peaks. Let's put something up there.
That's inspiration.
So we decided to put a pink triangle up. And what started out as a renegade crafts project, we soon realized was necessary because a lot of people didn't understand where the pink triangle came from. So part of understanding where we are this weekend for Pride 2013 is understanding where we've been. And the pink triangle is one of history's reminders of hate and intolerance. The pink triangle started out as was used by the Nazis in concentration camps to label and shame the homosexual prisoners. They came up with an entire series of colored triangles to label their undesirables. The pink triangles were slightly larger than those worn by the other concentration camp. And at the end of the war, the pink triangle, those who wore the pink triangle on their pocket were also put back in prison, not the concentration
A lot of people don't
camp.
know that. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and it's one of those symbols that the gay community, as we so often do, has reclaimed and made our own. You know, when people said, you know, you're gay or you're queer or something, we've reclaimed that word queer, and now that's an identification for us. I mean, my name itself, I used to be teased the way I walked. Well, now I'm Donna Sachet, and I sashay all over town. That's the way we do it. The pink triangle is not a symbol of fear or hate anymore. It's a symbol of power and unity.
But we do need to remember what it was.
Absolutely.
Because so
It's the
many
roots.
people have forgotten where it came from.
It's the roots.
And they think it's an abstract gay symbol, like the rainbow flag, which is a wonderful thing.
Right.
But the rainbow flag was something new and purely
Created by-
positive,
by one of
whereas
us.
the pink triangle has this horrible
Well,
tragedy.
just spill off some names that have been up here, because you have this big ceremony that starts at what time in the morning on Saturday morning?
The ceremony is at 10:30 on Saturday morning.
June 29th.
We're expecting the mayor and our senator and assemblyman and most of our board of supervisors.
Nancy Pelosi's often here.
Nancy Pelosi's been a number of times.
It's a wonderful thing, and what we need is some volunteers to help put this thing together. It takes, I'm sure, hundreds of people, but it's not a lot of skill involved, is it?
No skill. I have the world's largest collection of private hammers. So if you show up, just wear sunscreen. We'll give you a pink triangle
What
t-shirt.
time?
It's between 7 and 10 on Saturday. The ceremony's at 10:30. We also need help taking it down on Sunday. We take it down after the parade from 4 until 8.
Patrick, thank you for being with us.
Thank
and
you.
thank you for creating this and keeping it going every year. And now, back to our Countdown to Pride calendar, so you'll know where to be and what to do. For me, I'm heading back to the Castro Theater to meet up with Michelle Meow.
Matinee Pride launch dance party at 10:15 Folsom. Friday food brunch at Bijou Bistro. June 29th, Pink Triangle setup at Twin Peaks, 7 a.m. 15th annual Pride brunch, Hotel Whitcomb. Civic Center celebration open from noon to 6 p.m.
Welcome back to your guide to Pride here on KOFY TV. I'm Michelle Meow with Donna Sachet, your host of this year's San Francisco Pride Parade broadcast. So we're back at the Castro Theater, and now it's time for the fun stuff in which we'll have to tell you how to get ready for Pride.
It's
right?
important. You don't just show up that day for the festival or for the parade. I mean, I know personally, I think about what I'm going to wear. I think about what I'm going to do with my hair. I think about jewelry. And then, you know, I'll get a massage beforehand or maybe do a little tanning session so I have a little bright color.
And all I think about is eating and staying and where to, do all those great things that a lot of people who might be coming from out of town might want to take a look. So
It's our chance to show off our town. So why not?
exactly. Okay, well then let's get ready. So you said you were going to get your nails done and your hair did. So where are you going?
Well, I'm not going to tell you all my secrets, but I'll tell you a couple of them. Like, Hand Job in the Castro. Yes, that's the name of it. It's a great nail salon, and they also do massages and facial treatments and stuff like that. There's also a great place for you guys, special underwear of all kinds. We'll figure that out later.
Oh my gosh, I have to add on there. Guys, it's so important that you have beautiful underwear, if anything else, because a
We're
lot
going
of
to get to that eventually, right?
Well, yes and no. I mean, a lot of people walk around in just underwear during Pride. It's not a joke.
You've got to stop by Harvey Milk's old camera shop, and just little places that are nowhere else in San Francisco, than in San Francisco.
Obviously, Harvey's restaurant, which has the best Bloody Marys for those who need to get over their hangover the next day. But for me, I'm a foodie, so if you're coming from out of town and you want to stay in the neighborhood, or as I call it, Castro, you definitely need to check out the restaurant Francis. Chef Melissa Perello, Michelin star,
Yes.
graded chef, changes her menu daily and describes the food as modern Californian sensibilities. I mean, that's so lesbian chic.
And it sounds like San Francisco, too. That's what we're known for, that kind of food. It's great.
Yes, absolutely. And as you know, if you're coming from out of town, San Francisco is split up in different neighborhoods. You can get a little bit of something in Japantown, Hayes Valley, which is really nice, the Mission.
And don't forget Polk. I mean, the original parade was over in the Polk area, and there's some wonderful restaurants over there, maybe more casual, but fun, all kinds of cultures represented.
And a lot of people, ask us, where should we stay? I always like to say, you should definitely stay at least 2 miles within Market Street, so you can hop on Muni or BART to get, to the Civic Center celebration, to get to the parade. It's really easy.
And use the Pride Guide because there are a number of hotels that are sponsors of Pride, and they'll give you a great deal. And then you can also, find some great boutique hotels all over the city.
If you've got kids in tow and also a pet, Joie de Vie, who's also one of the sponsors for Pride, they've got great hotels that admit dogs. So Hotel Kabuki in Japantown, nice spacious rooms who allow dogs and kids. And if you want, you can save a few bucks, stay in Oakland, Jack London Square. The Waterfront Inn offers a whole lot of space for dogs and kids.
And while we're talking about kids, don't forget that Saturday, the festival is really geared more to family events. It's not the adult playground that it is on Sunday. And you'll see lots and lots of kids and pets, and it's in Civic Center, the same area, but just a kind of a different feel.
And I think the number one thing you should definitely not forget is to bring a light jacket or layer up.
And suntan lotion, because it goes both ways. By the time the day is going through, you're going through all the seasons.
I think we've given some pretty good tips. I mean, you've got the calendar of events. We've given you some restaurants to check out, hotels to stay,
it's
places
basically your Pride Guide. You've never had that before from us, and we're excited to bring it to you this year on KOFY TV.
Before we end the show, though, it's great that we've got these events, and it's great that we're going to get ready for Pride, but there's a bigger picture, isn't there? There's something more to it.
I don't mind getting serious for a minute. When you think about it, the LGBT community is really the last group that can be officially or unofficially discriminated against. We may have made a lot of legal battles and succeeded in those, but there's still a lot of hatred, there's a lot of fear surrounding our community. There's still crimes of violence that occur everywhere. I am so proud of my LGBT community right here in San Francisco. The things we do, the gratitude we show to each other, the generosity in raising money to support causes. We are a community that cares for our own, and we've become models of how to care in the larger community. I'm so proud.
I'm so proud of you. I mean, I think that you embody all of that, Donna Sachet, everyone. But more, for me, Pride is also about remembering those who were part of the first Pride, remembering Stonewall, and not being afraid of who we are, and coming out and letting people respect and celebrate who we are and the diversity of
especially
all
San
kinds of
Francisco.
people.
Everything started here. The Compton cafeteria riots were before Stonewall. I mean, the gay games started here. The gay chorus started here. This is where it started. There's something in the water or something in the air. I'm going to keep drinking it and breathing it. How about you?
Absolutely. All right, that's it, guys. So make sure you join us Sunday, June 30th for the San Francisco Pride Parade broadcast here on KOFY TV starting at 7.
It's the best way to see what you look like in the parade, if you were in the parade, and see the wrap up of the evening. It's going to be great. Right here on KOFY TV. This is Donna Sachet
and Michelle Meow.
3, 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're starting all over?
Yes.